Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chitta Nama Nadi Ubhaya Vahini. Our mind has the unique ability to flow either towards its own source, or it may go away from itself. And because of this ability, some of us are relativity oriented and some of us are the subjectivity or absolute reality oriented. These two types of peoples, both of them are seeking with all sincerity. So whatever anybody is seeking, jnana yajnena chapyanne yajanto mam upasate ekatvena bahutvena bahudha vishwato mukham. All are seeking me only, but they seek me objectively. What is the objective pursuit of the reality? Dharma, artha, kama. When we are seeking the artha, the worldly achievements, wealth, etc., kama, the fulfillment of the desires, and dharma, the fulfillment of the desires in the other world, this is called as dharma. Nobody does dharma to go to hell. Everybody follows dharma to go to heaven. And tetam bhaktva swargalokam vishalam kshene punya martyalokam vishanti. So the purpose of putting all the sincere efforts is never fulfilled, because antavattu phalam tesham tad bhavatyalpamedasam, because the amount of efforts that they are putting, kama labhante na swatantram, they are only getting their desires fulfilled and they again become the victims of their desires, and this is how this relative existence is continued infinitely. Up to here we have seen. Now Bhagavan is giving us the other picture. Ye punaha nishkamaha samyak darshinaha. But there are people whose mind is no more now getting interested, attracted in the objective pursuit. They are no more enchanted to live the relative life. So, such people, those who are nishkamaha and samyak darshinaha. Samyak darshinaha means what? Those whose understanding is perfect. They might not have attained oneness with the Absolute, but their understanding is perfect. Such jnani purushas, what is their lifestyle? Now this is said in the 22nd verse. This is one of the most important verse. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्. अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते. So the first word ananyashchintayantah. Ananya apruthak bhutaha. Anya means pruthak bhutaha. Anya means accepting the sense of otherness as real. Pruthak bhutaha. Like this paperweight is other than me. I have no doubt about it. If I am a weight, I am the table weight, not the paperweight. So I am someone other than this. Ananya chintayanto mam. Those who are apruthak bhutaha. Ananya, non-separation from whom? Param devam narayanam atmatvena gataha santaha. See? They recognize the Param Devam Narayanam, the supreme reality, the abode of the total creation. This Narayanam, Atmatvena Gataha. See, this Gama Dhatu or all the roots which are having the meaning of Gati, movement, they are used in the meaning of knowledge also. So, Atmatvena Gataha Santaha. So, those people who have no doubt whatsoever about their oneness with the reality, Ananya Chintayantaha. So, this is Ananya. Second is Chintayantaha. Chintayantaha Mam Ye Janaha Sanyasinaha Pariyupasate. So, their line of contemplation is always the non-dual approach to the reality. Now see, we have seen in our Patanjali Yoga Darshan, Sankhya Darshan, Prakriti is one, Purushas are many. But here, Bhagavan is very clearly telling, Ananya. There is no sense of otherness, even accepted in fun, casually, lightly, no. With this firmness alone, we can walk this spiritual path. Remember in our Taittiriya Upanishad, Yada udaram antaram kurute atha tasya bhayam gato bhavati. If we practice and accept even an iota of difference, tasya bhayam gato bhavati, he is bound to suffer the pangs of fear in life. Because fear is always of the others. Dvitiyat vai bhayam bhavati. About the other, there is always a fear. Therefore, Ananya, such a seeker can never lead a spiritual life under the pressure of fear or confusion. That's why a devotee is never afraid. There is nothing like a bhakti bhrashta, as we have got yoga bhrashta. There is always a fear. Suppose I am doing all these things, panchataya, vristaya, klishta, aklishtaha, and yogaha, chitta vritti nirodhaha, and thereafter there are so many stages, bhumikas, kshipta and mudha and vikshipta and ekagra and niruddha, then the sampradnyata yoga, the sampradnyata, ram. You make one mistake here and there and gone. So here, Ananyaha. Because even if you fall, where will you go? See? Even if the wave breaks, where it will go? Go to Krishna only, nowhere else. Therefore, there is no fear, and this fearlessness alone can bring us nearer to the reality. In this manner, Chintayantaha. So their line of thinking is non-dual line of thinking. Chintayantaha. Mam ye janaha sanyasinaha pariyupasate. So sanyasinaha. Bhagavan is always bringing this sannyasi in between. Ye janaha sanyasinaha. Why sanyasinaha? Because Bhagavan Shankara was sannyasi? No. Because those who are grahasthas, they are lokeshana, putreshana, vitteshana. What they will do? Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam. They will get evam trayi dharma anuprapannaha. They will get loss only in the relative world. Therefore, you see, when we talk to these grahasthas, and they will somehow or the other bring it to the notice. See, all the rishis were grahasthas, you know that. And if grahasthas were not there, you would not have been born. Your parents were not sannyasi. Therefore, grahastha dharma is the shrestha, best. We should never disagree with them. Why? Because you have to live and take food for them. Then they say, if grahastha dharma is so important, why didn't you get married? But then you can say, but it is very difficult. No, it's very simple. Because it is simple, we don't want. We want something difficult. Or if they say, no, it is very difficult. No, who will take difficult? When simple marg is available, why bother? Never get in, headlong with anybody in this world. So, mam ye janaha sannyasinaha. So, who is a sannyasi? He who has decided not to get headlong with anybody or anything in this world is a sannyasi. Because sannyasi is the one, samyak nyasaha, he who has placed himself in the right position. When we have placed ourselves in the right position, you will never go wrong. See? Like I have a friend in Madhya Pradesh, he is a politician, and I asked him, I said, hey, you are in this politics, which is your party? He says, Swamiji, I never changed my party in my life. This is my 5th term. Oh, very good. Which is your party? A ruling party. I always contest and always win as an independent. And then whichever party is ruling, I join with them. So I have never changed the party. So here, sannyasinaha, they have taken the right position. And what is the right position? The right position is when Bhagavan told aham kruturaham yajnaha swadaham aham aushadham, that absolute reality alone is appearing in the multiplicity. He who has this clear understanding, will he ever argue, try to justify, achieve, or feel bad about the failures? Cannot be. This is the meaning of sannyasi, sannyasinaha. Then pariupasate. Pariupasate, paritaha upasate. So, ananya chintayanto mam, they have not separated themselves from the Lord or anything in this world. One with everything. Second thing, pariupasate. In all the places, it is not only in the meditation hall or in the temple there is a devotion. And outside there is only ocean, no devotion. No. Therefore, paritaha, every place they are the devotee alone. It is something like this, We learn driving on the football ground, so that we don't get a tree in between. And after we learn driving, and then we come on the main road, do we leave the driver on the football ground? The driver, the me, is everywhere a driver. No, sir, I got this driving license on the football ground, No. You don't get a driving license with reference to a particular place. You don't get a driving license with reference to a particular time. In the same manner, these janaha sannyasinaha pariupasate, their firm abidance in this absolute is under all conditions everywhere. Now the third, tesham paramarthadarsinam, this is what Bhagavan said, they are paramarthadarshi. Their vision is the vision of the Absolute. Paramartha Dashanam Nityabhiyuktanam Satata Abhiyuktanam. And therefore, they are Nitya-yukta. Nitya-yukta means what? The one who is one with the one which does not change. Nitya-yukta. Anything in this world you take which is constantly changing. So if you remain yukta with the changing, suppose you remain seated in the car and the car is moving. So you cannot be stationary. You will be also moving. In the same manner, we associate ourselves with all the relations that we have around us. So all the relations are constantly changing. We will also move along with them. You cannot be in one place or one theme. Therefore, Nitya Yukta is possible only with the absolute reality. Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam. Thus, in this verse, three things are said by the Lord. Which are those three? Ananya, there is no Vastu Bheda. There is no separation on account of the object. Anyata is always with reference to objectivity. Then Paryupasate Deshataha. There is no separation on account of the space. And third, Nityabhiyuktanam, there is no separation on account of the time. So, Deshataha, Kalataha, Vastutaha, Ye Ananyaha, Mam Chintayantaha, Te Sanyasinaha Janaha, Tesham, of such people, Yoga Kshemam, Yoga Apraptasya Prapanam. What we don't have to get, that is called as yoga. And Kshema, Tad Rakshanam, Tad Ubhayam Vahami Prapayami Aham. Kshema is whatever we have, the protection of what we have. This is the statement of Sri Krishna in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, 22. On this we have no faith. But LIC, no? Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham, isn't it? You make arrangements to pay all your subsequent dues and die. We will take care of your dependents afterwards. First you die. And here Bhagavan straight away telling. See, that is why one of the most important spiritual practices is this. We have to have this full conviction. And this conviction can come only when you re-evaluate your life. You don't have to struggle, only re-evaluation. Whatever we are today as on this moment, is it because of our efforts? What is required for our spiritual growth? Exactly the right kind of circumstances are created by His divine will. And thereafter, how we should interact with these circumstances, that is also provided by Him alone. And therefore, wherever we are, it is not our will, but ahankara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. But we feel that I have decided I will do this and I will do that thing. You don't know next moment what is going to happen. I will do. Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. Therefore, those who are not carrying the load of yoga kshema, they alone have sincere devotion to the Lord. This is the difference between the samsari and the devotees. A samsari is the one who takes care of his samsar and he leaves the practice of devotion to the Lord. भगवान की जब इच्छा होगी तब उनका नाम मुंह में आएगा. So, the samsara they do with all sincerity. But as regards spiritual practice is concerned, they leave it to the God. He said, Yoga Kshemam Vahamya. And what is the difference between the other category, the saint and the sages, the devotees, the jnanis? They leave the maintenance in this relative world at his mercy. Jehi vidhi rakhe Ram, tehi vidhi rahi. And then our spiritual practice, they do with all sincerity. See the difference. If this difference is understood, then we are following the spiritual path. Therefore, all our sincerity should be in practicing this knowledge. So, ananya shintayanto mam ye jana pariyupasate tesham nityaviyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Till this moment, if we are really sincere, we will come to know that what we have today is not because we deserve. No. According to the philosophy of karma, what we have today is the karma phala. But according to the philosophy of devotion, what we have today is not because of karma phala. It is because of the divine grace. And when we take our life as under the care of the divine grace, then every good event is His grace, and every bad event is also His grace. See? Once this becomes our attitude, you will see we don't have to struggle. Then we sit on the meditation and hold on to that mind. Why the mind is going here and there? Because either we are not aware of the divine presence, or we have no faith that He is taking care of us. Then we want to struggle. Wherever there is a struggle, we are going the wrong way. So, tesham nityabhiyuktanam yoga kshemam vahamyaham. Now that word again, vahami aham. Vahami means I shall carry. See? Bhagavan is ready to carry the requirement to us. He doesn't say, okay, go and take from there. No courier. He himself comes and delivers. See? Vahamyaham. So he provides and he sees that it reaches us. And when we become aware of His grace, this awareness of His grace is called as the Sampradnyat Samadhi. And this awareness of His grace, when it becomes a part and parcel of our life, then awareness of His grace disappears. And then only asampradnyat samadhi or the yoga awareness alone remains. Now see what is attained through yoga abhyasa. See, in the beginning of this 9th chapter, Bhagavan very clearly and distinctly brought out that ashtame nadidvarena dharana yogaha sagunaha ukta tatra anena eva prakarena moksha prapti phalam adhigamyate nanyatha iti tada shanka vyavivrutsaya. This should not be the wrong notion in our mind. That is only through the yoga abhyas At the time of dying, remember the thing, then start remembering the Om, 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 Om. One person was telling me, that's why I enjoy my life. He says, Swamiji, after I heard this 8th chapter from you, this happened in Bombay, that at the time of death you should remember Om, Om, Om. And every day, almost now 1 year is over, I am doing Om, Om. But you know what is happening now? I always feel, I think I am going to die. Because it is said. And the tragedy is I am not dying. So neither I am living nor I am dying. Om Ittikaksharam Brahma Vyaharan Mahamanusvaran. What kind of interactions the human mind will give to the knowledge, even God will be surprised. Therefore, this is not the only path. Yoga Khem Mahayam become aware. So, Yoga Kshema Vahami Aham. Now, here a question is raised. Jnani tu Atma eva me matam. Bhagavan told, Jnani is my own self. And such a mama priyaha. And he is really dear to me because he is my own Atma. And the self is dear to everyone. And naturally, the devotee is dear to me. Yasmat tasmat te mama atma bhutaha priya iti cha. This being so, they are all very dear to me. And therefore, I will take care of them. Nanu annesham api bhaktanam yogakshemam vahati eva Bhagavan. Question is raised. But you know, Bhagavan takes care of every devotee. Why this jnani only special? So, satyam eva, vahati eva. Yes, you are right. Bhagavan definitely takes care of every devotee, whether ajnani or the jnani. Then, kintu ayam visheshaha. But this jnani devotee is vishesha, something special. What is that? Anni bhaktaha te swatmartham swayam api yoga kshemam ihante. But those who are not seeking me, see, arto jidnyasur artharthi. Artha, they want to remove the miseries. Jidnyasu, they want knowledge about God. They don't want God. See, there is a difference. And artharthi, those who are struggling in a nirarthak way to collect the artha. Artharthi means those who are seeking the arthi. Arthi means that, you know, that thing which dead body we carry. Artharthi. So, te swatmartham swayam api yoga kshemam ihante. So, such people are putting forward efforts for looking after themselves. Because their idea is sharira madhyam khalu dharma sadhanam. First of all, you should take care of our body. First of all, we should take care. Why we should give no trouble to the God? We should. And therefore, when somebody is putting effort, Bhagavan says, try. Why should I come? Therefore, ananya darshinaha tu na atmartham yoga kshemam ihante. But those who are ananya darshin, na tu atmartham yoga kshemam ihante, they never even think once, what will happen to me? One person asked me this thing, Swamiji, suppose we have the vision of God, then what happens? I said, you become mad. Really? I said, yes. अच्छा हुआ दर्शन नहीं हुआ. There was a place satsang going on, and in that satsang, one person got up, and Mahatmaji was intoxicated with joy and happiness. And he said, Sir, I want to have the vision of God. Oh, very simple. Let us start chanting and dancing in His name. They started. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram. When everybody was intoxicated, he said, stop. Everybody stop. Bhagwan has come. And Bhagwan, such and such devotee wants your darshan. Will you please give him? Then he kept quiet. He said, what Bhagwan spoke, I can hear, you cannot hear. Because as I can see Bhagwan, you cannot see. So Bhagwan told me that tell that devotee that yes, I can reveal my presence to him right away. But you tell him, after he takes my darshan, all his merits will be exhausted. Then only the total quota of sins will remain. And as a result, after he sees me, all merits will be exhausted, only sins will remain. And thereafter, he will have all the problems of the sins. He will have leprosy, he will have this, he will have that, he will have 101 diseases, and he will have gout. Tell him, if he wants, I can reveal. That devotee, Bhagatji says, let me ask my wife, I'll tell you later. See? That fool didn't understand that when you have the darshan of the Lord, how can your sins remain thereafter? This is how it is. So, Swatmartham swayam api yogakshemam ihante ajnaha. Then ananya darshanatu na atmartham yogakshemam ihante. They are given up everything to the Lord. And nahi te jivite marane va atmana grudim kurvanti. Even they do not think about life or death when they are in one tune with the divine. Kevalam eva Bhagavad Sharanahate. They are totally surrendered to the Lord. Now see, this is another very important principle. Please remember, understand. If we have a single thought about death, and particularly our own death in our mind, we have wasted our life under the disguise of spirituality. Here, see, ye Bhagavad Sharanaha, they don't think about death and life. They think about Paramatma. And those who are established Ananya Chintayanto Mam in this absolute reality is that Ajopi Sannavya Atma, no death. See? Najayate mriyate va vipaschit nayam bhutva bhavita van bhuyah ajo nitya shashvatoyam purano nahanyate hanyamane sharire. Where is the occasion that the thought of death can enter our mind? When we hear the news of death of somebody, when we see somebody dead, Gujaratis call the father in the Western world as dead. Do you know why? Because the original word is dad. Like snacks are called snake. Dad is called as dead. Dead has come alive. So there is no possibility of any thought of death entering in the mind. I remember I had a friend, old one, still there. He lost his old friend. And we went there and he said, Swamiji, you please talk something on Gita. I said, he's not listening. It becomes so difficult to become serious in this world. He's not listening. No, Swamiji, for those who are us. I said, they have never listened. And that fellow didn't listen when he was alive. You are listening. Then I said, sit for 2 minutes seriously. Do that acting that you are really serious. And after I said, now let's go. And we went. And when we were going, he was driving. He said, Swamiji, he is a Gujarati. Swamiji, now I think my number is coming. We were together. We were from Navsari. And we were together all our life. I think my number is next. I said, Kaka, pull the car aside. He pulled the car. And then I said, you are elder than me, but I will do this. So I caught hold of his collar. I said, look here, you claim, it is a very old story, not recently, very old, about 15 years before. So I said, you will say that you are a bachcha before me. Once he told me, Swamiji, more than your age, I am attending Satsang. I know Gurudev for last 35 years. Good. This is what you have been telling me, yes. And this is what you have learned. See? If we have really attended Satsang, the thought of death cannot enter our mind. If it enters, we have not attended Satsang. See how important it is. So instead of recognizing the truth in this manner, I don't know which Mahatma, the group of his devotees, his or her devotees probably, they have spread this thing. That our Mahatma is immortal, cannot die, and died. So they are not ready to accept. No, it will again revive. Cannot leave us and go. We are all devotees. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, Indian heat. Then the Prakriti started showing Vikruti and all the smell and everything. And then they had no choice but to accept and bury it. See? This is not spirituality, it is a cartoon of spirituality. Please understand this. As a body, if we want to remain immortal, we are going the wrong way. Otherwise, Bhagavan Krishna would have kept his body. Therefore, जीविते मरणे वा आत्मना गृधिम न कुर्वन्ति केवलम एव भगवत चरणाहाते अतः भगवान एव तेषां योगक्षेमं वहति and therefore Bhagwan eva. So Bhagwan alone takes care of their well-being. This is how Ananya Chintayanto Mam Ye Jana Pariyupasate. On the banks of Ganges there was one Mahatma and he was going somewhere. And Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, these are the lands of criminals. And so also Mahatmas. So one Mahatma was going and some people have sent a criminal to go and kill him. So he took that kind of a sword to kill that Mahatma. He took his hand up and his hand could not come down. It got fixed. So in front of Mahatma walking and behind this fellow walking. And then he was more worried, why it is not coming down? You can see the tragedy. So the people saw, you want to kill him. Everybody started hitting and beating him. So although everybody started hitting and beating him, but his hand will not come down. So the Mahatma said, leave him, don't worry about him. Now go, don't kill anybody. Okay, left him. And after that his hand came down. Then they say, why this happened suddenly? He said, whenever I move, gods protect me. They take care of me. If it is a very bright day, very heavy sun, and if it is not suitable for me, clouds come. See? Yoga kshemam mahamyam. This we can never understand unless we practice it in our life. Nanu anyapi devataha tvam eva chet tad bhaktaha cha tvam eva yajante satyam eva. Now sir, if anyapi devata tvam eva, because you have said everything you are, if all the gods, devatas you are, then chet tad bhakta cha tvam eva yajante. So they are your devotees. So whosoever is devoted or worshipping whosoever, they are all your devotees, is it not? So Bhagavad says, yes, it's true. I don't deny that. However, he says in the 23rd verse, ye pyanya devata bhaktaha yajante shraddhayanvitaha tepi mameva kaunteya yajantya vidhi purvakam. हे कौंतेय, हे कुंती पुत्र, हे अर्जुन, ये अपि अन्य देवता भक्ताः, अन्य देवता भक्ताः, they are devoted to other gods. See? If you remember, I told you once the story of a Zen master. A disciple was staying with him for many years, 15, 20, 30, 20 years, say, he was staying there. And slowly he learnt everything. Under this tradition of the Avadhutas, there are two traditions. One is the Avadhuta tradition, second is the Acharya tradition. In Acharya tradition, as I am teaching you, the knowledge is passed through teaching. But in case of the Avadhuta tradition, it is not there. There the Avadhutas create a situation and they make you learn. So, Zens belong to that category. There are no books or scriptures which you can read, study and teach, no. So he was with his guru for a long time, and then one day the guru told, I think now you have become all right, you can go independently. However, I will suggest you one thing. What is that? Go to that Mahatma and stay with him for some time. And then he will tell you something about the truth, as I told you. But sir, he is your enemy. He talks ill about you. Yes, I know that. That is why you should go to him. See the greatness. Here the same thing. Yepi anya devata bhaktaha. A real master worth his name will never tell anybody, don't go here, don't go there. And such people who are gathering the crowds of devotees, they are afraid of their own existence. If the devotees leave, what will happen to me? And then there are two kinds of remote controls operated. One is the remote control of guilt, and second is the remote control of fear. And when one is functioning under this impulses of fear and guilt, you can never leave that person. All the time it will be haunting you. Here Bhagavan is telling very clearly, I know, ye anya devata bhaktaha, anyasu devatasu bhaktaha, te anya devata bhakta santaha, yajante pujayante shraddhaya astika buddhya. And when they are doing their worship to all those their respective gods, astika buddhya, with all sincerity, devotion and purity, shraddhaya anvitaha, anugataha, te api mam eva kaunteya yajanti. Arjun, I know. they are worshipping me alone. See how important it is. Take an example. There are a dozen of waves, and there are 4 or 5 people who are worshipping the different waves. So these waves, number 1 and devotee, her devotees. Wave number 2 and her devotees. They will fight among each other. My way is superior than you. Yours is little bit. See, my way have got so many followers. Your way has no followers. And they will fight. And the waves will support the fight. See? Don't go to that group, They are not good people. Remain with us. What is lacking in our group? There is nothing, no need to go there. This can happen. But will the ocean ever say that go only to that wave, don't go to other wave? Because his knowledge is, they are all me only. His knowledge can never say that any wave is separate from me. In the same manner, here Bhagavan says, Yepi anya devata bhaktaha yajante mam avidhi purvakaha. Now take the subjective example. When we are living our life, we are supported by many gods, devatas, such as in the eyes, the Lord's sun is functional. In the ear, the Digdevata. In the nose, the Ashwini Kumar. In the Rasana, the tongue, the tasting organ, the Varuna Devata. In the Agni, in the speech, tongue, talking organ, Agni Devata, and so on. Now, when somebody is giving me good food to eat, so he is pleasing Varuna Devata. And somebody is giving me something good to read or something nice to see. So he is pleasing the Surya Devata. But now will I ever say that this is superior, that is inferior? No. Because all of them, whatever they are doing it for my sake. In the same manner, here the Lord says, Ye api anya devata bhaktaha yajante pujayante shraddhayanvita te mam eva kaunteya yajanti. When this is not known, what happens? There was a Mahatma and he had 2 disciples. And the load of the Mahatmas in their life is their disciples. So he was carrying the load of the disciples. And what is the load of the disciple? The disciples want to serve the Guru. See, those Gurus who are served by the disciple, they are destroyed in no time. So this Mahatma used to take the seva from the disciples. And what was the seva? Afternoon lunch, Mahatma sleep. So he used to sleep. And the 2 disciples will come. And then they will start pressing their legs. His legs. Not their legs, his legs. They start pressing his legs. So, one disciple, this is my leg, right my leg. And left is my leg. And Mahatma is sleeping. And both were, pressing their own legs now. My leg is left, your leg is right. And one day, that right leg fellow went somewhere. He didn't come. Now the devotee or the disciple, he was pressing the left leg. And because there was no pressure load on the right leg, therefore the Mahatma turned on the left side. When he turned on the left side, the right leg came and landed on the left side. And then this disciple got angry. You come on my leg. took a danda and gave a hard hit. Get out from here. See? What will be the tragedy of the danda? Therefore, te abhi mam eva jajanti, but avidhi purvakam. Avidhi purvakam is avidhi ajnanam tat purvakam. Therefore, this person who was pressing the leg of his guru, one leg, and when the other leg landed, he gave a hit. His intention was good, but the way it was done was wrong. This is the meaning. Like the story comes, there was a king and a monkey, and a great friend of the king. Wherever he will go, the monkey will take care of the king. And one day the king was sleeping and the monkey was sitting nearby, and a fly came. So he was trying to, again the fly, again sitting on his nose. So the monkey said, what is to be done now? What is to be done? So he saw one big stone and then he was waiting. And the moment the fly landed on the nose, tired. Isn't it? So, avidhi purvakam, ajnana purvakam. They don't know what they are doing. Therefore, tepi mameva kaunteya yajanti, but avidhi purvakam, ajnana purvakam yajanti ityartaha. Now, what is the meaning of ajnana purvakam? What does it mean actually? And what will happen? This is said, kasmat hi avidhi purvakam yajanti iti uchyate. Why their worship is through ignorance. This is said in the 24th verse. Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha natu mam abhijananti tatvena tascha vantite. Aham hi sarva yajnanam shrautanam smartanam cha. As we have seen in the morning class, the yajnas conducted according to the Vedic rites is called a shrauta yajna, and the one not according to that but other Puranas or the Agamas, they are called as the Smarta Yajna. It's not Smarta. So, Shrautanam Smartanam cha. Sarvesham Yajnanam Devatatmatvena Bhokta cha eva aham. So, I am the experiencer, enjoyer of the offerings of all the Yajnas. And Prabhu eva cha. And I am the master. So, whatever is offered, it is offered to me alone. Now becomes subjective. Whether food is given to the mouth, it is given to me. Whether the legs are pressed, the comfort and happiness, it comes to me. Whether somebody is scratching the back, it comes to me. Last time I think where I was, in probably Australia somewhere, and putting this warm clothes all the time, and I was standing. So one person came, Swamiji, please don't brush me away. I want to do something to you personally. Because money, that is okay. That I don't care. I have already given. But I want to do something to you personally. Because I have heard we should do the seva of the Mahatmas. Like pressing the legs. I said, my throat is all right. No, tell me something. I said, all right. Go back. He went back. I said, now show me your hand. He has shown the hand. I said, all right, very good. Not very bad nails, no. I said, now put your hand below my bunion and scratch my back. I am feeling so uncomfortable. So he put his hand and I said, don't do it very hard. Ha, maja aa gaya. Now whether it is the scratching of the back or giving good food to eat, Everywhere I alone is propitiated, is it not? Now expand this example, multiply it multifold. The Lord who is at the samashti level. So whether we are propitiating one devata or the other devata, it is aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhu eva cha. Therefore, mat swami ko hi yajnaha. So I am the Swami, I am the master of all the yajnas. And I have already told, aham adhijajnyo hamevatra dehe dehe bhrutambara. In this 8th chapter, Bhagavan told, I am the adhijajna for whom everything is being done. Tatha natumam abhijananti. In this way they do not recognize me. And as a result, what happens? Tatvena ataha te avidhipurvakam ishtva yaga phalacchavanti pravacchante iti. And therefore, prachavante iti. And therefore, although they are doing everything and yet they don't understand that they are propitiating the absolute reality, and they get limited, lost only in the relative reality. See? Be very attentive. What is the meaning of getting lost in the relative reality and absolute reality? I like to eat good food, and for that good food alone I spend my whole day and night. So what I am doing? Putting sincere efforts and everything. For what? For only propitiation of the Varuna Devata. Isn't it? How much struggle I am putting. And if I understand that actually the contentment, the happiness that I get because of the food does not come from the food. It is my own essential self. And the important thing is the bliss and not the blisters that we gather by interacting with the world. Once this is recognized, then what will happen? He will continue to put efforts. But now his efforts will not be in an objective pursuit, but his efforts will be in the subjective discovery. This is the meaning. Ataha tatvena taschavantite. That is why the effort put forward by the grahasthas to maintain their livelihood or this samsara, it is not so simple. It's tremendous. It is awful. And this effort and sincerity, if they put on the spiritual path, they will get much more than what they are getting. Therefore, ye api anya devata bhaktimatvena avidhipurvakam jajante tesham api yaga phalam avashyam bhavi. And those who are bhaktimatvena, with all devotion, anya devata avidhipurvakam jajante, they are propitiating, worshipping these various gods. Tesham api yaga phalam avashyam bhavi. They also get the results definitely. What are the results they get? 25th verse. Yanti devavrata devan pitrun yanti pitruvrataha bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyajinopi mam yanti gachanti devavrataha deveshu vratam niyamaha bhakti cha esham te devavrataha te devan yanti. Those who are propitiating the gods, devatas, they go to the devata lok. So devan devavrata yanti. Vrata niyamo bhakti esham cha te. So there also upasana is not so simple. They have to take the vratam and they do all the sincere efforts, they with all devotion attain the Devalok. We'll take it from all the three angles. Second is Pitrun Agnishwattadin Yanti Pitruvrataha Shraddhadi Kriyaparaha Pitrubhaktaha. So those who are devoted to the parents, they continue their devotion after death also by practicing the Shraddha Karma, etc. You know, one day one person asked me, Swamiji, do you feel that there is any meaning in this Shraddha Karma? I said, I don't know what you have understood by that. He said, no, they give the food to the Brahmins after death of their parents, and when the Brahmins eat, they imagine their parents are eating. Does it have a meaning? I said, I don't know, but what I understand is totally different. What is that? When we are supposed to respect and revere the dead parents, what it means? We must respect and revere our living parents also. Oh, that is the thing. Yanti devavrata devan pitrun yanti pitruvrataha. So these pitruvrataha, pitrubhaktaha, shraddhadi kriyaparaha, agnishwattadin yanti. Agnishwatta means the pitaras. Because it is said that the pitaras are unable to contact the gross objects. The Pitru Yoni is in between the Mardya Lok and the gods, in between. And therefore they can eat only through the heat or the fire. And therefore they give the very hot rice balls called as the Pindadanam. And then from the Pindadanam, when the steam comes out hot, through that heat the Pitrus come and take their food or the share. Therefore they are called as Agnishwattadin. Now imagine if a Western uncle has to give something to his father, he will take out sandwich from the deep freeze and give. It will not be taken by the parents. Why? Because they are cold. That's why, in our now kitchen, hot food you get. You should not have any doubt about it. One day, somebody came with me for food in a Karnataka house. And Karnatakis, Marathis, when they give food, normally it's okay. But when somebody comes, they want to show it in a very decent manner. Everything is beautifully offered. Unlike Punjabis. Punjabis, dhum dhadaka. Punjabis, Rajasthanis, there is no niyam about offering the food. He will give the dal, above they put the rice, they put the kheer, and then the papad, and then the pakoda, and salt, and pyaj, and all kinds of things. So it's nice. So these Karnatakis, when we went, we sat, and the food was served properly. And this fellow who was with me, he was from Punjab. Swamiji, it looks so good. But what is this in the center? They keep the rice compressed in a katori and they keep it like this, Hey, what is this? I said, I'll tell you, but don't leave. You are not supposed to leave there. What is that? I said, this is Pindadan. Now what will happen? I said, don't worry, you take the food, you will feel that his dead father has gone in you. So, Pitrunyati Agnishwattadin. Therefore, we offer the hot rice balls as the food to the dead parents. Now imagine if you have to give the hot food to the dead parents, live parents should be given hot food. This is the meaning. Don't give them the leftovers. Now, Bhutani Vinayaka Matrugana Chatur Bhagini Adini Yanti Bhuteja Bhutanam Pujakaha. So, Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja. Those who are worshipping the various Bhutas, like the Batuka, Bhairava, then the Vinayaka, Matrugana, Chatur Bhagini. These are the various kinds of devatas which are propitiated in the Tantra Shastra. Tantra Shastra, they will have all these things. What the Uchchista Bhairava, Unmatta Bhairava, and there are a number of them. If you go to Varanasi, in the center is Lord Shiva, Vishwanath. And on 8 directions there are 8 Bhairavas temples. The same position is given to the various Grama Devatas. Every village they have got a Grama Devata. Similarly, many places they give the same status to Hanumanji. So Hanumanji is the one who is protecting Rama, so he is the Devata protecting us also. In this manner, Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja. So they propitiate various gods and they go to that particular abode of the god. And last, Yanti Madhyajino Mad Yajanashilaha Vaishnava Mam Eva. And see the word what it is? Mad Yajanashilaha. Don't read it in a wrong manner. Madhya Jana Shilaha. So those who are the spiritual, Madhya Jana Shilaha. No, it is Mad Yajana Shilaha. So Yanti Madhya Janaha Madhya Jana Shilaha Vaishnavaha Mam Eva. Those who are worshipping me, they come to me. And Mamupetyat Punarajanma Navidyate, in the 8th chapter Bhagavan told us, and those who reach me, they have no more again to come back to the relative existence. Now after having told this, now Bhagavan's frustration. Bhagavan is frustrated number of times. Here is one. Samane api ayase mam evan bhajanti ajnanat tena te alpa phala bhajo bhavanti ityartha. Poor fellows, samane api ayase. Putting forward all the effort with all sincerity. But what they are getting is nothing. Like our Indians living in the outer world. Go to these various places, day and night, working there like bullocks. The other day, one Gujarati family, I went for food in New Zealand. I said, how many hours you remain inside your house per day? 3 or 2? Swamiji, you are too calculative, but that is true. And that poor lady goes in the morning at about 7 o'clock. So before 7 o'clock, she has to get up, prepare her daughter to go to school when the daughter is sleeping. So she is like that. Then she puts on the clothes and all that. There is no question of bath and all that. It was given yesterday or last night. So directly from the bed, she is pushed into the shoes and the clothes and the baby. And in that way, she is put into the car and goes and handed over to the school, that small school. And then she goes, comes back in the evening, 7:30. Till then the child is in the school or the daycare, whatever it is. And per day they have to pay according to number of hours the child is looked after. $30, $40 per day. And after having come home, then washing, cleaning, cooking and all that. And then husband and wife only two. Hum do hamara adha adha. So I have cooked, you wash. I have made dirt, you do the vacuum. And in this manner, and go to sleep. Again get up in the morning. What for? See? The basic thing called as the good food, that is the last priority. Therefore, when you see these people putting so much of efforts, but what they are getting? Nothing. In the same manner, here Bhagavan is feeling bad. These people, they are doing all their sadhana, all sincerity, everything, but avidhi purvakena. They don't know that their efforts are going in vain. Therefore, Bhagavan is feeling so bad. Samane api ayase mam evana bhajanti ajnanan. Now here, when Bhagavan is telling Mam, don't imagine that he is telling Krishna, 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 Krishna. No. Become subjective in your spiritual pursuit. Don't remain objective all the time. And becoming subjective in the spiritual pursuit means only one thing. In the objective pursuit, there is concentration required. Ekagra bhumika. In the subjective pursuit, not concentration, but awareness is required. Live with more awareness. And when you live with more awareness, you are relaxed. You are alert. And all your rajoguna, tamoguna, everything quietens down. So, living in awareness is sampradnyat samadhi. And living as awareness is asampradnyat samadhi. See the difference? Now, there are another aspects about this mantra. Yanti deva vrata devan pitur yanti pitur vrataha bhutani yanti bhutejja yanti madhya janopi mam. This is what we have seen according to the Adi Daivik meaning. Now we will take the Adi Bhautik and Adhyatmik in our next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.